Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of HRD 631, The Adult Learner. We are on Monday starting week number 5, which is pretty amazing considering we have 14 weeks in the class, and actually weeks number 12, 13, and 14 will be dedicated to presentations. Our exploration project, actually it's more facilitation than a presentation. Much more information coming up about that project shortly. And I'll give you just for those that did not attend the Zoom meeting, which I guess is everybody except for Aaron, who actually participated in that, please take a look at the recorded Zoom session that we had last week. In there, I explained this process and the whole idea of kind of getting ahead. What should you be looking at this point, and what can you be doing at this point as far as the bigger assignments and the assignments that come later on in the course. So in that, I mentioned the learning reflection paper, the exploration project, and briefly the learning autobiography. So let's get right to week number 5. I have to tell you I love this course. I've been teaching this course for 10 years, a couple of times a year. And week number 5 to me is where a lot of the concepts that we've been discussing, the barriers, who participates, traditional learning theories, how they all kind of come together and mesh into this week. This week, we're looking at adult learning theories. And for those that maybe you've heard of pedagogy, we have this whole idea or concept about andragogy, or andragogy as some people say. It's the art and the science of teaching adults, or how adults learn. So let's get right to the materials, including what it is that I would like you to do this week. Well, first of all, you're looking at the video. This is, as you can see, this is last year's video. There's going to be a brand new video, the one I'm doing now. So please take a look at, please take a look at the video to get things going. So this week we're going to develop an understanding of adult learning theories, models, and frameworks. Malcolm Knowles, andragogy, McCluskey's theory of margin. It seems like over the past few years, this whole idea of theory of margin, I get a lot of students writing about that, but basically it has to do with, it's a mathematical formula that pretty much can predict what kind of margin people have to deal with all life issues, including learning. So don't want to get into too much of this theory, but I'm really looking forward to reading the discussion posts this week and kind of what impacted you. Each of these theories or ideas results in some change in a person. That's at the root of education. At the root of education is there's some kind of change in the person or behavior. Specific, read chapters 5 and 6. And I just did put this in there. If there's anybody still reading the 3rd edition, this is what those chapters correspond into the 3rd edition. I'd like you to read Brockett's The Pro Model, optional, Learning Beyond High School. Somewhat dated, but just excellent. A PowerPoint presentation on chapters 5 and 6. A video, optional video on andragogy and self-directed learning. Those are 2 hallmarks of adult learners. And then I put in a McCluskey's theory of margin to help you explain what's in the textbook. So due soon. Next Sunday is the exploration project question. This is literally the question that is going to drive your exploration project. It is not the project, it is just the question, and I'll show you where materials are concerning this. So that's what's due next Sunday. You don't have to go into a lot of information. I'm just looking for your question. If you have any, in between then, this week, if you want to shoot me something saying, what do you think about this topic? What do you think about the question? I get a lot of emails from students asking if I can help with their particular question. Sometimes they have great ideas, but they haven't put it into a question, and I will provide you some help getting it into, I think, a workable question that is something that would fit for this assignment rather than a question that would drive a master's or doctoral thesis or doctoral dissertation. Participate in the week 5 discussion post. Okay, so the materials: framework overview of week number 5, summary of the chapters, PowerPoint, electronic reserve articles, advanced organizers for the following week. And then I do want to show you this. This is the questions from previous classes. So let me click on that. Now there's no order to this. I've just made a listing of some of the, not all of them, some of the questions that I've gotten from students and they've used for their exploration project. So take a look at those. I think that will give you an idea of the questions that we've received. Some of these have been accumulated from classes even before I started teaching this class 10 years ago. So, I might have tweaked the questions differently, but quite frankly, the actual question is important, but is not as important as the topic and the materials that you develop. So take a look at those for ideas on what did other classes use? What are the questions that they used? I'm going back to week number 5. And once again, there's the questions. We have the project question. It's due next Sunday by midnight. If you need a little more time, let me know. The thing about this is literally it's a question. Doesn't have to have a paragraph. There doesn't have to be justification for it. This is the first step along the way in the exploration project. It goes from the question, and then the second part of this assignment, you provide a learning autobiography and a learning organizer. No, excuse me. You provide an annotated bibliography in the learning organizer, and then you develop materials from that. And we have the discussion post. So I'm going to shift gears quickly here. I'll try to be as quick as I can. Course administration, you can't see a lot of this materials because I'm not hiding it from you. It's just the view that I look at. So this week I will get your class participation grades posted for the first 3 weeks of the class. If you've been actively participating, you've been doing your initial post and then commenting on at least 2 other students, this is the discussion. You will most likely get, probably almost full credit for everything. If you've done your initial post, but maybe you comment on one person, you would get a little less. And then the same thing if you really don't do anything beyond your own discussion post, then you will get a lower score than some of the other people in the class. So there's still an opportunity for you to jump on if you need to and kind of comment on a couple of people. But I will have those done by next weekend. So what we have on next Sunday, the question is due. A couple weeks from now, we have the learning reflection paper, which I will have information on that next week. Once again, then we get into weeks 5 through 8, online discussion, annotated bib, coming up on November, and you can take a look at this coming up. All of these assignments and details on them and actual specific dates are included on Brightspace and in the syllabus. So that is it for me. There's a lot of materials this week. I truly hope you have a wonderful week. And if you have any questions about adult learning theories, some of the ideas in here, please reach out to me. Or if you just want to shoot me an email saying, what do you think about this topic? A lot of times I get those emails. I look at them and say, this is great. Go with it. Once in a while, I might send you back 2 or 3 alternatives, basically streamlining your question. Because sometimes the questions are quite lengthy and they're wordy and they can be cut down quite a bit. So if you have any questions, let me know. I will be, professionally traveling on Wednesday and Thursday this week. I'll have access to email, but it will be a little more spotty than if I was here in Topsom. I hope you have a great week. Hope you enjoyed the day today. Enjoy the sun, and I'll see everybody online. Bye.